What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. It is the 6th day of July, Sunday, the end of the week here, and we are sitting just below $109,000 with 8 hours and 50 minutes left in the day here. Up 0.69% on the day. We're up, let's see, 0.5% on the week. Volatile week, and we actually, looking back at this here, guys, our wick found support right here at these weekly closing prices, right kind of here in the middle of this overall zone, and in this area where we had some wicks before. So a little bit volatile on this week, and we're definitely getting a bullish close, which is nice to see. I mean, 8 hours, 50 minutes left. I was expecting that we would go lower, personally, right, from this area. We were starting to roll over. We had the liquidation heat map was suggesting that we go lower here. I need to refresh this. Let's just see what it looks like now. We went up to the zone with less liquidation levels. I guess the longs were protecting themselves, man. They sent this thing up. They're like, it's the weekend. We don't need as much money. We're going to pump it up. You know, and if I've been wrong before, I'll be wrong again, you guys. It's just kind of how it happens. There's still a lot of liquidations to be had to the downside, but we're at this point, I'd say we're pretty close to the upside. We might continue to move higher. I think that we're in a weird spot right now to stop. I don't know if we do or if we don't stop here. You know, getting green candles like this decent volume. Volume's dying off a little bit. What about the 15-minute time frame? Let's look at that real quick, okay? Yeah, I mean, maybe we stop momentarily here, but I don't know if we're at a good stopping point, personally. Let's see, high to low. Kind of in between the 0.5 and the 618. It's kind of weird. Normally you would just go all the way up to that golden ratio. The fact that you skipped out on that is a little bit odd to me, but odd things happen. We actually just recently did that. Am I on the right one? Let's see if we log it. Yeah, no, even on the linear scale, it's still the same. And that's what, if you guys are ever drawing fibs, you know, if you scroll down, fib levels based on log. That's how I have mine, and I put it in the log chart. Logarithmic chart is what that means, right? $108.8 thousand right now. 47 minutes left in this 1 hour candle. Looking at the RSI, have we found resistance here before? Typically, it looks like we're going a little bit higher. We've found resistance right here before, just below, right there. That's fine. Yeah. Okay, so we've actually found resistance in this area. It's very common. It's very possible, actually. Let's see. Let's look at this. Found resistance, bounced off the 60, continued to rip. Bounced off the 60, continued to rip. All the way down to the 50. Came back into the overbought zone, though, right? Multiple iterations every single time. So, again, I don't know if we stop here, like maybe for a couple of hours, but I would think this move does persist higher. Looking at the MACD, we are crossing above the zero line. It looked like we were rejecting it yesterday, and we did come down for a little bit, but we just crossed above that, man, with some velocity there. Stochastics are overbought. I don't know, man. I think that we could stop here for a couple of hours. Maybe, you know, with the RSI like we've seen before, we could come back down to the 60 or even the 50. That might take us back down to about 108.5K, something like that. Find support there and then continue to rally, right? Find support there, continue to rally. That might be what we do. Find support at prior resistance right at the 382 after skimming the golden ratio. It's actually pretty common. And then maybe we stop at the golden ratio, which would be about 109.5 to 109.2, somewhere in this area. Find support at the 0.5, continue to rally, something like that, going into this week. I think the downside is off the table, you guys. It's still possible. I shouldn't say it's off the table. It's just maybe on the back end of that table. It is still possible that we can go lower. Absolutely it is, and I think we'll see that maybe if we're looking at the 4 hour time frame here. 4 hour time frame, RSI is still pretty neutral. We're at the 60 right here, depending on where this 4 hour closes in the next 45 minutes, 50 seconds. If we close here at the 60, you know, bouncing off the 40, rejecting the 60, that's a pretty common thing to do, actually, kind of like range between this zone, right? You found support at the 40 back here, found resistance at the 60 area, came down, and obviously you went a little bit above the 60 there. Found support at the 40 here, bounced off the 60 there, came down, right? 40, 60, 40, 60, a little bit higher, and then you continue to grow, right? That doesn't mean that it has to happen. Doesn't mean that we have to. I'm just saying on a 4 hour basis, we are kind of in a place that we've actually rejected a handful of times, right? Whenever we see this kind of 40 to 60 endeavor. Overall, though, I would say the RSI is neutral, but in a bullish posturing right now on the 4 hour time frame. Stochastics are looking good as well. The MACD, this on the 4 hours, actually very suggestive of some bullish upside. We have come down and we're basically finding support right at the zero line, a very shallow level of support there. That very well could lead to some kind of recovery. Flip this green, we could get going, rocking and rolling, you guys, over the coming days. This is the 4-hour time frame, so it's not like weeks of price action that we're gauging. It's probably like the next 3 to 5 days that would be gauging. So that would imply that this week could be bullish. And if this week is bullish, you guys, we could be seeing new all-time highs by the end of the week. If not, certainly sometime next week. The 4-hour time frame is a little bit more bullish than I had thought that it would have been, and this bounce off the MACD is what's doing it for me, honestly. But again, keep in mind here at the RSI, we are at a point of resistance. The MACD can still hold this zero line and be bullish, and we can still like find turbulence. You know, maybe we come down and we wick, and then we close back up here. We can definitely find turbulence in this area, but at this point in time, I'm not completely convinced that the buck stops here. I think that it keeps going on. So if we're looking at this from a high to a low, I would consider 109.2K at least, if not 110.2K. Let's just say something in that zone. You'll find resistance there, consolidate, and then continue to run. Maybe by the end of this week, guys, we'll be reaching for prices that are above 110K. And if we get above 110K, that's that level that we're looking for to break out to new all-time highs. New all-time highs, of course, they're all the way up here at about like 112K. But that 110K level, I guess 110.6K, is instrumental in the idea that we're breaking out of this overall range that we've been in now since the end of May, right? Since May 22nd there. Daily time frame. RSI looks great, stochastics look great. MACD gives me a thought that we could go a little bit lower, but in time we would still go higher, so I'm not really worried about it. Bullish on all fronts there. The weeks to come will be bullish, that's for sure. Yeah, guys, it's very, very possible that we don't go lower to that, what was it, about 107 to 106K area, 105K at the lowest. It's very possible that we don't go down there. Looking at this, again, coming up in this range, you've rejected immediately here. You're dancing around a little bit, consolidating. It's just a matter of time before we break out. And whenever you look bearish and you're supposed to do bearish things and you don't, and you get a bullish reversal, you got to adapt with the times here. I still wouldn't be too surprised if we came back down to this area. But at this point in time, I think it's time to let go of the idea that we go below this low. And maybe now that I've said that, that'll finally happen. But again, this seems a bit too robust, in my opinion, for it to be a fake out. So I think, like, if this was some kind of fake out, I would imagine we would move up. We would find, it would look like we're breaking out of this overall range. We'd find a harsh level of resistance right here at prior support, and then we would just rip back down immediately. We've moved up, and we're stopping in an area that's kind of obscure, sure, but we haven't moved back down immediately. We're just kind of consolidating. So I think consolidate is what we will do. Maybe even fake out to the downside, and then continue to run over the days, over the week to come. Low to high here. Finding support at the 236. Bitcoin's loved to do that lately. So if anything, yeah, I think that 382 at 108.4K would be an area that we find support at. If we don't go down there, we're only going higher, guys. That's the expectation at the moment. So that's all I got. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Now that I'm bullish, we can go down. All right, take care. Bye-bye.